There's no debate about it, says Jim Latanzi.
As a Massachusetts maple producer, I will tell you that Massachusetts maple syrup is the best, specifically our own made right here in Fitchburg.
The city of Fitchburg seems an unlikely place for maple sugaring until you visit Hollis Hills Farm. These 100 acres spell sweet success for Latanzi, who owns the farm.
The way you grow an apple hasn't changed much in the last 50 years. Maple is really kind of a neat and evolving industry because advances in the technology make us way more efficient.
Efficiency comes with fancy names: a reverse osmosis machine, a gasification evaporator. Steve Randall, a software engineer turned business partner, explains.
So this is a maple syrup evaporator, and it's as simple as it sounds, where the whole idea is to get the water to come out of the maple sap and condense that into a syrup. It takes about an hour. This will tell us exactly how much sugar is in the liquid. It's called a hydrometer. You'll know the exact density, and then you'll know if you're actually at syrup, a little thicker than syrup, or a little bit less.
The result, a greener, cleaner way to make maple syrup at Hollis Hills. 90,000 gallons of it in 2019.
We're able to make a lot of maple syrup on a very small amount of wood and energy.
And the more, the better, says Latanzi.
It's a better sugar for you. It's a natural sugar. It's a vegetable. We're going to claim it's a vegetable. It comes from a tree, and so it's either a fruit or a vegetable. It's healthy.
Call it an excuse to indulge.
What are we doing here?
We're making sugar on snow, which is maple syrup. We boil it farther to about 240 degrees. We take that hot syrup and pour it out on the cold snow. As it cools, it makes a taffy. You roll it up on a popsicle stick and enjoy.
I totally did this as a school-aged kid, didn't I?
It's something you probably won't ever forget.
An even bigger hit with visitors, fluffy, flavorful maple cotton candy spun from this retro machine.
Sweet, sugary goodness right here. So much better than the pink stuff.
Massachusetts boasts more than 300 maple syrup producers, most of them west of I-91. The town of Rutland in Worcester County is home to Sap Castle, a small sugarer hoping to expand.
We produce about 100 gallons of syrup a year. We distribute to local farmers markets. We sell a lot of syrup right out of the sugar house here.
John Williams lives on his family homestead, which includes his grandfather's former dairy farm. A sculptor and carpenter by trade, Williams rebuilt the family's rustic sugar house in 2012.
I love the kind of alchemy of it, of taking this beautiful product out of the woods and turning it into something that's, delicious.
Sugaring also involves land stewardship, making sure these deep woods stay healthy.
We don't overtap trees, try to be conscious of where the tap holes are on the tree, look for any damaged branches.
From late January to March, a mix of freezing and warming weather creates the right formula for sap to flow. Once it's tapped and collected, sap must be boiled quickly before it spoils.
You're just taking the sap that comes directly out of the trees. It looks like water. It's normally 2% sugar, thereabouts. And you're just boiling that down. Normally it's around 40 gallons to 1 gallon of syrup. So you're boiling off that 39 gallons of water and you're left with the syrup.
When it's time to boil, Williams is often in a rush. Friends and family help, including Williams' wife Lauren and their son Samson.
Good job, buddy.
Every year, Sap Castle produces syrup of varying colors and grades, each tasting distinct.
It actually has to do with microbes in the sap, and what those microbes do, they're eating the sucrose in the sap, and they're changing it into other sugars, and those other sugars are what will actually caramelize in the evaporation process and change the grades.
Early in the season means lighter colors and more delicate flavors.
There's actually natural occurring vanillins, so you're getting kind of a nice light, almost vanilla flavor. And then as the season goes on and it gets a little richer, you're getting more of that, unique maple flavor.
That darker, more robust syrup only became popular with consumers in recent decades, says Williams. It's hard to choose a favorite flavor, even for a maple connoisseur. Williams likes it all.
We eat a ton of it. Put it on ice cream, put it in my coffee, just drink it straight out of the bottle.
John Williams of Sap Castle says he recently received a state grant to help purchase new sugaring equipment. He and his family are also raising money to start a farm on their property, focused on teaching young farmers and the public about food justice and stability, as well as sustainable agriculture. Up next, mobilizing to help the front line.
Within a short period of time, maybe 3 weeks, so we're able to make 100,000 face shields a week.
Many local businesses have been pitching in to get supplies to healthcare workers on the front lines. One central Massachusetts manufacturer makes a very specific product, labels for industrial equipment. So how could they help? By being flexible. Flexibility is always the goal at Flexcon. This family business in Spencer, just outside of Worcester, manufactures something we see and touch every day: labels.
The core technology of the company is called rheology, the spreading of a liquid onto a solid of a dissimilar surface energy, and our guys are phenomenal about being able to spread a thin layer of adhesive across a 60-inch wide web.
Chairman and CEO Neil McDonough's father founded Flexcon in 1956. Today, the company has 1,500 employees in the U.S., Europe, and Asia. McDonough says Flexcon's labels are everywhere, from shampoos and beverages to cars and trucks.
Most of the business is actually, though, in what we call durable labels. Labels going into automotive, power equipment, lawnmowers, pharmaceutical labeling. We actually got some calls saying you have to produce this as fast as you can for ventilator labels.
In March, another call was answered by Market Development Manager Michael Merwin.
She wouldn't tell me who she was at first because of what was going on, but she basically said, "Can we make a face shield?"
Turns out the caller was a respiratory health therapist at a local hospital. Like masks and other personal protective equipment, face shields are crucial to healthcare workers to prevent transmission of illness. Using in-house materials, the Flexcon team got to work.
Everybody was, into it. Everybody was all excited, and everybody was jumping on things as quick as possible.
Over one weekend, Flexcon developed a prototype that was approved by the caller and her co-workers.
They figured out how to, one, do it very quickly, but also do a minimally viable design. Not make it expensive, not make it complicated. We charge 90 cents a shield. Most of them are $5 a shield. We made thousands right away, and we donated over 20,000 face shields to hospitals throughout Massachusetts. And within a short period of time, maybe 3 weeks, so we're able to make 100,000 face shields a week.
Then came another request. Could Flexcon make single-use test hoods made to test the permeability of N95 masks? The answer, yes.
It's polyester. You can recycle the material. They are considered a disposable one-time fit test, but you could also put your name on it and save it for yourself, so you could use it yourself over and over if needed.
McDonough believes innovation is not just about next-generation technology. Being nimble is just as important.
It's about looking at things differently and solving a problem. And also not trying to overthink it or over-design it. So it's a matter of going out and trying.
Neil McDonough tells us there really isn't any reason for Flexcon to stop making test hoods and face shields, even if the numbers of COVID-19 cases continue to drop, because there's a very steady demand for those products. And lately, you may be noticing those large floor graphics that are popping up in a lot of businesses to encourage social distancing. Flexcon has been making adhesive for those as well. All right, coming up, back to basics.
I think that hand carving things, it gives the piece a soul. You'll never get there with a machine-made piece.
The creative arts have seen a surge in popularity during the pandemic. A lot of amateurs channeling their inner artist. Here in Massachusetts, we're surrounded by plenty of professionals as well, including a professor giving art lessons for free. And as Erica Tarantel tells us, a woodworker turning out works of kitchen art.
Here in Lowell, this former textile mill is home to dozens of artist studios. It's where John Welch works alone in an airy workshop. John Francis Designs is his creation and his passion.
There's something very peaceful, very meditative about just taking a piece of wood, and especially I really enjoy texturing. I just sit there and I just kind of listen to the chisel carving away, and everything else melts away. I just disappear.
By trade, Welch is a machinist and CAD or computer-aided designer. His second career as a woodworker and artist evolved naturally over time.
My dad was always working on the house. My mom always had me into arts and crafts and things like that. I was craving that hands-on interaction, that kind of zen that comes from carving and working with your hands.
In 2013, Welch began carving spoons. He branched out to serving and cutting boards, stools, and mirrors.
I was very focused on making goods that had a purpose. There's no reason why things that you use every single day couldn't be beautiful pieces. I use the machines to break down the rough material, and from there it's almost all hand carving and hand tools. I've worked a little bit with some exotic woods, but for the most part I stick to the domestics. My favorite to work with is walnut. I think that it's just a very beautiful wood to carve. You have a very wide variety of grain and texture in the wood itself.
Welch's style is distinctive, catching the eye of food stylists, cookbook authors, and fans on social media.
I've always been a bit of a perfectionist, and hand carving and working with my hands, and especially woodworking, has really helped me learn the beauty of imperfection. I think that hand carving things, it gives the piece a soul. There's some quality that maybe you can't put your finger on that you can't get from a machine-made piece. You'll never get there with a machine-made piece.
I actually enhance the painting with these alcohol-based markers.
Artist Clara Liu spends most of her time teaching.
They blend really well with the watercolors.
Liu is a former adjunct professor at the Rhode Island School of Design. To 60,000 YouTube subscribers, she's known simply as Art Prof.
I'm Professor Liu. I'm a fine artist working in drawing, printmaking, and sculpture.
I got an email from a mother the other day who said, my 8-year-old daughter loves your videos. Art is the only thing she can do right now during the pandemic. I've also been in touch with people who are 75 who say, finally, I have time to do what I've always wanted to do.
Liu launched Art Prof in 2017 after she wrote a series of columns for the Huffington Post.
I started getting emails from all over the world, questions about everything. Color theory, painting, how do I show my work? How do I get into a museum? And I thought, this is so much bigger than just an advice column.
It's too red, so I'm gonna add a little bit of Viridian.
Today, amateur and professional artists alike tune in for Art Prof's cross-disciplinary tutorials. Liu shoots and produces the videos at her home studio in Newton.
We cover illustration, bookmaking, printmaking, painting, fine arts. That's another reason I think we're very different, that we are very comprehensive.
I feel really alive and alert when I'm doing a gesture drawing.
Also unique, the site is 100% free.
That's always been really, really important to me, because for some people, even $5 a month is a barrier. I want it to be accessible to everybody who wants it.
Liu is the lead instructor, but several other artists teach as well. This video focuses on scratchboard drawing.
These are different types of etching needles. These are extremely sharp, so you could get the really delicate lines.
Sometimes Liu takes classes on the road. In Taiwan, she demonstrates her signature method. Gesture drawing is quick and expressive, meant to capture the feeling or energy of a subject.
I just love little moments like that where you just have no control over the situation.
In addition to learning, viewers can submit art to be critiqued and exchange DIY tips.
Who knew that Kool-Aid was beautiful? If you mix water into it, it actually looks a lot like watercolor. And if you mix turmeric with water, it makes a really vibrant yellow paint.
I just need a little bit of a finer point.
I think the arts are more important than ever. It's totally unbridled creative freedom. And I think people need to feel a place like that, that feels safe. Because we are living in a situation where we're under very strict guidelines about how you can walk, how you can go out. There's so many rules now. And art is a space where there are no rules. And we really have an opportunity to be whoever we want to be there.
Clara Liu tells us she very recently left the Rhode Island School of Design to focus on art prof full-time. And she actually is planning a move to Utah. Though she won't be based in Massachusetts anymore, art prof will remain just a click away. And back to John Welch, he says the showdown associated with the pandemic, the slowdown I should say, has allowed time to expand his creative vision and experiment with new designs. He's enjoying that. Coming up, we're talking dessert.